Have you ever watched an 84-year-old man walk a hillside path above the ocean at 7 in the morning? No sunglasses, no phone, just a gravel trail through terraced tea fields, the Pacific stretching out flat below. For 20 minutes, his eyes do nothing but reach. The line where water meets sky, a fishing boat so far out it is barely a dot. He has walked this path for decades, and he has never once thought about eye health. So what keeps his eyes working? It is not genetics, not a supplement, not an eye exercise. Most Americans would guess fish and rice, but that is a small part of the picture. Japan has one of the highest life expectancies on Earth, over 90,000 centenarians. And when you look at how Japanese seniors spend their days, something stands out. Their eyes never stop moving. Not because they try, because their days are built that way. 10 everyday habits, rooted in daylight, distance, color, and rest. Most of them free, and almost every one is something you could start tomorrow morning. 1. Distance walking. 20 minutes where your eyes reach for the horizon. That man in Shizuoka walks because the post office is down the hill and the shrine is up it. But here is what his walk does that a treadmill never will. For 20 minutes, his eyes focus on things that are far away. The roofline of a neighbor's house. The curve of the coast. That fishing boat, barely a speck. His eyes shift between middle distance and deep distance the whole way, adjusting without him noticing. Most of us spend our mornings the opposite way. Phone screen, laptop, dashboard, everything close, everything lit from behind. By the time we leave the house, our eyes have been locked at arm's length for an hour. His eyes hit the horizon before breakfast. If you have a mailbox or a park bench 3 blocks away, you already have the same walk. You just drive past it. But distance is only where the day begins. What he eats when he gets home matters too, and not for the reason you would guess. 2. Deeply colored plates. A breakfast that looks like it was arranged by a painter. Open your refrigerator. Look at the top shelf. Now picture the breakfast tray of a woman in her 90s in a fishing village outside Naha. 6 small dishes, every one small enough to fit in your palm. Dark miso, the color of wet clay. Sliced persimmon, deep orange. Pickled eggplant, so purple it is almost black. White rice, green onion. Grilled fish with the skin still on. Nobody in that kitchen is naming compounds or counting vitamins. But the color comes from somewhere. Japanese home cooking reaches for variety, not volume. Many small things instead of one big one. And the small things come in colors most Americans do not eat at any meal. You do not need a Japanese grocery store. You need a sweet potato, a handful of spinach, and a reason to put them on the plate. They eat in color because that is what food looks like before it gets processed into beige. And that color goes everywhere, including into the light that fills their homes. 3. Daylight-soaked rooms. Homes designed to let the outside in. Traditional Japanese houses were built around paper, shoji screens, sliding panels, walls that glow when the sun hits them. In a neighborhood in Kyoto, a woman in her mid-80s keeps every window uncovered until sundown. The kitchen, the reading room, the hallway, all bright with whatever light the sky offers that hour. Compare that to the way most American homes work. Curtains drawn by 10, overhead lights on all day, a living room where the strongest light source is the television. You do not need a Japanese house. You need one window with the curtain pulled back. Let the room change with the day. Your eyes will notice before you do. Over 90% of the average American's day happens indoors. That number alone explains a lot. Everything so far happens inside the house or on a quiet trail. The next habit pulls you outdoors with a crowd. 4. Ragio Taiso. 3 minutes in the open air, eyes following your hands. The loudspeaker crackles on at 6:30. Within a minute, 40 people stand in the gravel lot behind a school in Osaka, arms rising overhead, following a piano recording made before most of them were born. Stretch up, Bend down. Twist left. 3 minutes. Done. Rajio Taiso has run on Japanese national radio since 1928. And here is the thing most people miss. For 3 minutes, your eyes follow your hands up to the sky, down to the ground, left across the tree line, right past the rooftops. Your focal point changes every few seconds, outdoors, in natural light, with a horizon behind it. You do not need the radio broadcast. Stand on your porch, raise your arms over your head, and look up. Then down, then out. 3 minutes. Your eyes just covered more range than they get in a full morning indoors. Everything so far has asked your eyes to move. The next one asks you to sit still. 5. Reading by the window. Short sessions. Real light. No lamp. Where do you read? A recliner under a ceiling light. A bed with a clip-on lamp. A phone screen in a dark room at midnight. The light comes from one direction, never changes, and the distance between your eyes and the page never shifts. In the home of a retired teacher south of Osaka, the reading chair sits 18 inches from a wide window. She reads the newspaper every afternoon, 30 minutes, sometimes 40, never longer. When she looks up, her eyes land on a neighbor's persimmon tree across the lane. Close, then far. Print, then distance. Over and over, without trying. The light on the page shifts with the clouds. Brighter, softer, bright again. Her eyes adjust constantly, the way they were built to, not locked under the same flat bulb for hours. You already have a window. You probably already have a chair. Move the chair. That is the whole habit. And the next one costs nothing at all. 6. Garden work. The place where your eyes never stop refocusing. Back in Shizuoka, the man from the hillside path spends 2 hours in his garden every morning, not because anyone told him to, because the tomatoes need tying and the weeds do not pull themselves. But watch what his eyes do. Down to the soil, 6 inches away, up to the trellis, 4 feet, out to the fence, 15 feet, up to the plum tree, 30 feet, back to his hands, a watering can carried across the rows, eyes tracking ahead. Most Americans look at a screen 12 inches from their face for 4 or 5 hours straight, an inch closer when they lean in, an inch back when they lean out. That is the entire range. A windowsill herb pot is a start. A single tomato plant on a patio is enough. The point is not the garden. The point is the refocusing. Close, then far, then close again, all morning, without ever calling it a habit. But the next one happens in town, on your feet. 7. Walking to the shops. A mile of constantly changing distance. In Naha, most daily errands happen on foot or by bicycle. A woman in her late 70s walks 12 minutes to the fish market, stopping twice to talk to neighbors. Her eyes adjust to every doorway, every crosswalk signal, every display of vegetables stacked under an awning. Compare that to a car. Dashboard, 18 inches. Windshield, fixed distance. Mirrors, same mirrors. Your eyes barely move. You pull into a parking lot, walk 40 feet across asphalt, and enter a lit by fluorescent tubes. Her walk covers a mile of shifting focal points. Awning to rooftop, street sign to distant hill, the face of a neighbor to the harbor at the end of the lane. Walk to the corner store instead of driving. Your eyes will do the rest. So far, every habit has asked your eyes to do something. Reach farther, shift closer, follow a hand, track a path. The next one asks them to stop, and it might matter most of all. 8. The unfocused gaze. What happens when your eyes rest on nothing? Here is the one nobody talks about, and here is where we come back to the man in Shizuoka. After the walk, after the garden, after the morning's work is done, he sits at the low table in his kitchen, both hands around a cup of green tea, and looks out the window, not at anything. His eyes rest somewhere between the glass and the tree line, focused on nothing at all. He does not know he is doing it. There is no name for it. He just sits, and the tea is hot, and his eyes let go. Most of us never do this. We finish one screen and pick up another. We look at the phone while the coffee brews. We scroll through the news while we eat. Our eyes never get a moment where they are not locked onto a target, pulling focus. His eyes tracked that fishing boat to the edge of the horizon at 7 this morning. Now they rest on nothing. Both matter. The reach and the release. The far point and the full stop. You already drink something in the morning. Sit with it for 5 minutes. Look out a window or across the room. Do not aim. Do not read. Do not scroll. Let your eyes go soft. That is the whole habit. It looks like doing nothing. It is. That is the point. When was the last time your eyes had 5 minutes with no target at all? After the tea cools, the evening comes. And what fills it makes all the difference. 9. Evenings without screens. What takes their place? Picture an evening in a farmhouse in Nagano, January. 6 o'clock. A couple in their early 80s sit at the kotatsu, the low-heated table with a blanket draped over it, legs underneath. She mends a seam on a jacket. He sorts seeds for the spring garden into small paper envelopes. The television is off. The only bright light comes from a small lamp on the table between them. Their eyes are resting, not closed, not staring at a bright rectangle, just working at a comfortable middle distance, in soft, warm light, doing something with their hands. The average American adult over 55 watches more than 4 hours of television a day. Add the phone and the tablet, and the eyes spend most of the evening locked onto a light source at arm's length, glowing blue-white in a dark room. You do not have to give up your television. Just give your eyes 1 evening hour without it. Mend something, sort something, sit at the table and talk. Your eyes will know the difference. And then comes the last one, the easiest of all. 10. Early darkness. The rest your eyes were built for. Japanese seniors go to bed early. Not because a doctor told them, because the day starts at 5 or 6, and by 9 the work is done, the bath is taken, and the house is quiet. In rural Japan, bedrooms stay dark. No television on a timer. No phone charging on the nightstand, with notifications pulsing through the night. Dark means dark. For most of human history, night was genuinely dark. The eyes spent hours in full rest. No light, no stimulus, no adjustment needed. That cycle is older than language. Most of us fall asleep with a screen in our hands. The last thing our eyes see is a glowing rectangle. The first thing they see in the morning is the same one. The dark never arrives. Start tonight. Set the phone across the room. Turn off the hallway light. Let the bedroom go fully dark 30 minutes before you close your eyes. Give your eyes the one thing they have been asking for since the invention of the light bulb: nothing. The dark is not the absence of something. It is the last habit of a day that gave your eyes everything they needed, and now gives them rest. Now step back. A morning walk with a long view. A breakfast full of color. A house bright with daylight. 3 minutes of movement in open air. A read by the window. An hour in the garden. A walk to the shops. A cup of tea with nowhere to look. A quiet evening. A dark room at the end. No eye drops. No supplements. No app. Just a day shaped so the eyes do what they already know how to do. Reach, shift, rest, reset. The day does the work, because the day was built before screens filled every corner of it. Remember the man on the hillside path? 84. Eyes that tracked a fishing boat to the edge of the world at dawn and rested on nothing over tea by 10. He did not protect his eyes. He just never stopped using them. That was never a program. It was Tuesday. It is not too late. You do not need all 10. Pick one. The walk, the window, the dark room. Start tomorrow morning. Nobody in Okinawa does these because they are disciplined. They do them because their days are shaped that way. You can borrow the shape. Which of these 10 would change your morning the most? Tell me in the comments. I read every one. If one of these made you think of someone you love, send them this video. If this was worth your time, the like button tells me to make more. Next time, we are looking at 10 things Japanese kitchens have that most American kitchens threw away decades ago. If you want that one to find you, subscribe. The man in Shizuoka has finished his tea. The cup is empty, the garden is waiting, and his eyes are already on the path.